The following is a production of WCMP Sports. It's time for high school basketball here on WCMP. Tonight we'll see the Rush City Tigers getting set to take on the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. Tip-off is coming up shortly, but now we send it to the court for the pregame. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's broadcast of high school basketball here on 100.9 FM WCMP. Of course, I am Ethan Game Day Gilman, and I will be bringing you all the action from tonight's contest between, you've seen it on the game open right there, the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the home-standing Rush City Tigers. These two teams will battle in what is called the Great River Conference. These two teams have been in this conference for years and years and years, and now I'm excited to see what tonight will bring. Of course, Rush City coming off a bit of a tough loss just last night. They lost to Pine City in Pine City, and it was a fun game nonetheless, but I know that Rush City is going to be a little disheartened because of the loss, because it was a close game. They watched Pine City get out to an early lead in that first half, and then all of a sudden you could just kind of feel momentum switch to the way of the Rush City Tigers, and they really ran away with it for much of the first half. In fact, if not the majority of the first half. And as we creeped along, Rush City just did such a good job of keeping, the Dragon offense kind of off of their rhythm, out of a groove. So they really couldn't get into any said groove. And Rush City, give them credit, they were on it last night. They could get their threes rolling. They got their passing game, and they love the passing game, and they do so well with the passing game as well. But once they got things rolling, it was hard to get them stopped, and Pine City really couldn't. But as that first half went along, and even though momentum definitely was on one side, you could just feel how close it was, and the score even showed how close it was as well. So it was a fun one to watch, and as the first half wound down to its close, Pine City wound up taking over the lead and would hold on to the lead, and unfortunately for Rush City, that would be the last time the lead changed hands, because Pine City would hold on to the lead from that point on throughout the rest of the game, and Rush City comes away with the loss to even them, or to go to 2-1 in the conference on the year and 3-2 on the season. They right now sit at 0-1 in the section. They lost to Pine City. That is their one section loss. Pine City, they beat them. That is their one section win on the year. And looking at the schedule here for Rush City after this, they'll go out next Tuesday to play at Moose Lake Willow River against the Rebels. Then they'll basically have a week off until they get back to action. They won't play again until Tuesday, January 17th against Bram in Bram, so that should be a fun one, and a lot of conference games here grouped into kind of this stretch of the next month or so, and then they kind of get out of the conference a little bit. But Rush City, I think they're going to be fighting for that top spot in the conference along with Pine City. We'll get into the conference a little bit more as we go along, but looking at the visiting Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, they're 3-4, 0-3 in their conference, which is Section 7 AA. Rush City plays in Section 6 AA. Right now in the conference, though, Hinckley-Finlayson's 2-0. That's where two of their three wins come from. They beat Bram and Mille Lacs. They beat Bram pretty handedly at home, and then they beat Mille Lacs on the road just last night as well, 80-43. They are 3-4 on the season. Their four losses came right in a row to Crosby, Ironton, Howard Lake, Waverly, Winstead, Aiken, and Esco. But then they have beaten, as I mentioned, Bram, Duluth, Marshall, and Mille Lacs, and they look to get another win here this evening and go to 3-0 on the conference schedule. And looking at the conference right now, it's two teams one team you might suspect, but one you might not. But I think for a lot of people, it's two teams you might not expect to see up there. That's East Central and Hinckley-Finlayson. Those are your top two teams in the Great River Conference right now. They're both 2-0 in conference play this year. Next is Rush City. Next is Pine City after them. And then the bottom three consist of Ogilvie, Bram, and Mille Lacs. Mille Lacs, unfortunately, has yet to win a game this season. Bram has won a single game, and Ogilvie has won two. So I think those top 4 teams that we see, Pine City, Rush City, Hinckley-Finlayson, and East Central, are all going to be right there at the end of the season. I think it's going to come down to one of the last couple games on the season for those 4 teams to really decide who comes out on top with the Great River Conference crown. Now, of course, I've talked with many head coaches in the area, and they have talked about how it's Pine City's conference. If you want to win the conference, you got to beat them. Well, East Central already has a leg up on them. East Central has already beat Pine City once this year in Pine City. So they've got the leg up there, but the Pine City opened up the season with 3 straight losses, and since then they've gone on 3 straight wins. So I've talked with head coach Kyle Allen, and really for Pine City, I think it's more of them kind of the 5 that they have out there have not started together. Luke Wilson is their lone starter from last year. Other than that, these are all new guys getting starting minutes this year. So when you have a group like that hasn't started together ever in their career, it's going to take time for them to mesh, to get that communication down, and just to get that flow together, that rhythm down as they go along, and we can see it has gotten better. The 3 straight losses to Painesville, East Central, and North Branch, but then they've been on 3 straight wins. Mesabi, East Cloquet, and just last night they beat Rush City. They will travel to Chisago Lakes tomorrow night, and I know you might be wondering why I'm talking about other teams and not these 2 teams here tonight. Well, the Great River Conference, this is such a close-knit conference. A lot of these guys play together during summer leagues, and they even play against each other in football. And I know I've talked to the coaches, they even have friends on these other teams as well. So they know each other pretty darn well. And oh, excuse me, apparently I need an energy drink or a nap. But no, apparently they know each other really well, and I think that's what creates even better competition during these games, is that they do know each other really well. They do probably see each other outside of the sport that they play. So I think that's what makes it more interesting, because when you get guys who know each other, it's going to be that friendly rivalry, and it kind of sometimes comes out on the court, and that's really fun to watch, because it comes out in a clean fashion, and you get to see these guys go at it having fun. Last night, it got a little bit chippy. It was a rivalry game between Rush City, Pine City, and it got a little bit chippy. And again, as I've said before, I think rivalry games should be a little bit chippy, but you always got to be careful, because you never know how far the refs will let that chippiness go. And last night was so fun. The physicality was one thing that I noticed last night from Rush City. Now, Pine City, they kept up with that physicality, but Rush City, right from the tip-off, even though they were down early on for I think it was the first 3 minutes they were down, after that physicality came out, and they took the lead and started to pull away a little bit. I think they had a 6-point lead there at one point over Pine City. Pine City was able to close the gap a little bit and keep it at a 1-2 score game for themselves. But Rush City, I mean, they were just physical on all points of the basketball, especially on that offensive side. Now, you might be thinking, offense, how can you be physical on offense? You might get a foul. Well, again, that's part of last night, them letting them play through the physical, which, again, I think in a conference game and a rivalry game, that is great to see, because then these guys really can kind of go out there and let loose and play maybe even the way they want to, with those emotions as high as they probably are in a game such as it was last night. So it was a fun one to be a part of. I'm glad I got to be there and call that game, and I'm glad I get to be here and call tonight's game between the Rush City Tigers and Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. I haven't been able to call a game for the Jaguars as of yet. This will be the first time I call a game for their boys team. I had called one for their girls team, but I'm excited to be out here again. It should be a good one between these two Great River Conference foes. Now, again, both teams coming in with at least one win, but Hinckley-Finlayson 2-0, Rush City 1-1. Rush City, I think, last night definitely had some things going, but I think one thing that I noticed, and I don't want to talk out my rear, but it looked like that the physicality kind of started to wear Rush City down a little bit in that second half. You could just tell that Rush City at the end, I mean, give credit, because that's kind of how it was for both teams, but it looked like Pine City just had a little bit more juice than Rush City did last night. It looked like that physicality kind of wore on them, and they just had a tough time kind of getting over that hump and back to their energy and getting that energy back, because at the end of the game, you could tell everyone on that court was wore out. And in a game like that, you just wonder, can the team bring it back the next night? Well, we'll find out. But if there is a team to come in and play physical like that game in and game out, it is this Rush City Tigers team. Hinckley-Finlayson, again, I haven't called a game for them this year, so I'm interested to see what they look like. And, of course, they don't have a bad start to the year at 3-4, 2-0 in the conference. I mean, if you're right now Hinckley-Finlayson, you can't ask for a better start. And, of course, you've gotten some help to be up tied for first with East Central for first place in the conference, and they're looking to keep that going. So don't be surprised if Hinckley-Finlayson comes in here and plays spoiler. I mean, that could easily happen, because when you've got a team who realizes the position that they are in and says, hey, if we keep winning, we're going to hold on and we could possibly take over the lead. So it's going to be a fun ride in this Great River Conference season, and I am so excited to be a part of it here tonight between the Tigers and the Jaguars. We're just about set for tip-off, and we'll get a word from our fine sponsors, and when we come back, we will be set for tip-off here at Rush City High School between the Tigers and the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. You're listening to Boys Basketball right here on 100.9 FM, WCMP.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti, or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank & Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride, like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank & Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today. Back here on WCMP 100.9 FM. Of
of course, streaming live with video on our website at WCMPradio.com, and that'll take you to our YouTube. And if you're not, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube page so you get notified whenever we have a game that gets started, and then you can watch the local game that is happening. So like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Your starting lineups for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars wearing their white uniforms, black numbers and letters outlined in red with head coach Dan Kreft. They will start number 3, Silas Lefebvre, number 10, Trey Visser, number 13, Griffin Steele, number 25, Levi Degerstrom, and number 50, Jordan Masterson. On the other side, the Rush City Tigers wearing their home blue uniforms with the yellow numbers outlined in white as well as the letters. Trig Thompson, their head coach, has the starting lineup at number 1, Landon Mold, number 22, Anthony Doss, number 24, Dakota Schmidt, number 32, Owen Dick, and number 44, Braden Rude. And again, I was able to watch this Rush City team last night. I was able to watch them a couple weeks ago when they put up 108 points on Hope Academy. And this team, they will set the pace early, often, and they will not hesitate to only play 4 defensive players kind of in and around the paint and hold one of their guys back near that half-court line. That's usually Anthony Doss. And if you don't catch that right away, he is going to make you look silly because he's just going to sit back there and lay it up easy into the basket. Just about set to go here inside Rush City High School. And at center court, it looks like it will be Griffin Steele and Braden Rude. Set to tip things off here. Getting one more thing situated at the scorer's table. Referee gives the go-ahead, and we're set for basketball. Tip-off is in the air, and it is won by Silas Lefebvre, but it's going to be quickly stolen away by Anthony Doss. And gives it off to Landon Mold, who easily puts it up and in for 2. So quickly here, the Tigers with a 2-0 lead. Silas Lefebvre has it, and he'll give it off now to Trey Visser, who gives it back to Silas Lefebvre. Now down below to Griffin Steele, puts it up and in for 2 himself. So we're tied at 2, and here come the Tigers. And again, they're very quick with moving the ball. And up and in for 2 that time from Landon Mold. And he'll make it a 4-2 game. Now Silas Lefebvre underneath here for Trey Visser, and that will tie things at 4. These two teams move very quickly so far. Hinckley-Finlayson able to keep up with the pace set by Rush City. Landon Mold will have it. And now in the front court, he gives it off to Owen Dick. Now gives it to Doss. Doss trying to drive inside, keeps the ball in front of him, puts up a shot off the back of the rim and in. And now it's 6-4, the lead for the Rush City Tigers. Lefebvre will take it up on the far side of the court, now gets to their front court, and he's going to take the 3. That's off the mark, no good. Landon Mold's going to get over there to get the rebound, and he's going to give it off here to Dakota Schmidt. Schmidt will take it up the court now for the Tigers. He's going to give it off now to Anthony Doss. Backs his way in. He finds a lane, guarded well by Silas Lefebvre, but up off of the back of the glass and in for 2, and it's an 8-4 lead now for Rush City. Nice kiss off the glass there for that one by Anthony Doss. And Griffin Steele has it now. Trying to work it inside on Doss. Gives it off to Masterson, who looks for the bank shot. It's no good, and it's going to be rebounded there by Anthony Doss. Doss will take it up the court now for the Tigers. And Doss works with it, gives it off to Mold. Mold has a lane, drives through it, and picks up 2. And again, Landon Mold, a very, very strong and intelligent player out there. He works through a ton of contact when he has the ball, and he refuses to not get a basket when he is near it. We've seen it right there. Landon Mold just continuing to show that physicality and the balance. I think the balance is one thing that a lot of people may not mention, but it should be, because he to go in to contact like that and still be able to put up the shot as cleanly as he did and get it to fall, that takes a lot of balance and body control, and he's doing really well with that right now. He leads the team with 6 points as his team leads 10-4 with 16:01 to go here in the first half. Looking to erase the memory of last night's loss to Pine City. As the Jaguars will inbound it. It's Griffin Steele who inbounds to Lefebvre. Lefebvre on the far side at the top of the key. Gives it off to Masterson. Masterson wanted to go back inside to Lefebvre. Instead, he gives it off to Degerstrom. Degerstrom now across the way to Visser. Visser on the near side. Loses his dribble. Picks it up again. And he wanted to give it off to Steele. Instead, he looks for a screen from Masterson. He stops. Gives it off far side to Levi Degerstrom for 3. That's just off the mark. Rebound there by Landon Mold. Mold, a great rebounder as well. And he quickly goes inside to Braden Rude, who loses it, gets his own rebound, and then lost it again. As that one rolls out of bounds, and it will stay with the Tigers. Schmidt will look to inbound. He goes to Landon Mold. Mold already inside the paint. Going to try and put one up off the glass. And it's no good. Rebounded by Lefebvre. And nearly stolen away there by the Tigers. And now quickly the other way off of a steal from Owen Dick. And Mold will put it up and in for 2 to make it 12-4 with 15 minutes, now under 15 minutes to go here in the first half. Lefebvre looks for 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Masterson. Knocked away. Masterson will get it back from Lefebvre. He's going to put it up and in for 2. That makes it 12-6 now as Anthony Doss on the other side has it. He'll give it back to Dakota Schmidt. All the way out to the top of the key to Landon Mold. Mold, he'll give it off now on the far side to Owen Dick. Dick trying to drive inside, and that one is going to be tipped and stolen away by Silas Lefebvre. Lefebvre gives it off there to Trey Visser. And looks like we're going to get our first foul of the game. I believe they called that one on Dakota Schmidt. That'll be his first foul, team's first as well. So Hinckley-Finlayson will inbound. We did get a substitution for the Rush City Tigers. It's William Volk who checks into the game. And a 3 from Silas Lefebvre makes it 12-9. And again, Lefebvre, a very good ball handler, a very good three-point shooter as well. But you can't leave Doss that wide open because he's going to make you pay for it. And Anthony Doss with a 3 of his own, he answers back to make it 15-9 as Silas Lefebvre works it up the court. Top of the key, spins around one defender, gives it back off to Griffin Steele. Steele trying to drive inside, keeps the ball away from the defenders. The shot is up, no good. Rebound, Landon Mold. Mold gives it, fakes the give to Dakota Schmidt, and now works on the near side elbow, back out to Anthony Doss for 3 again. And Doss trying to get in rhythm early, misses that one, and it's rebounded by Jordan Masterson. Quickly up the court to Silas Lefebvre. He falls, but keeps his dribble. Now to Levi Degerstrom, gives it back to Lefebvre, top of the key. Now over to Griffin Steele. He had a chance at 3, but didn't take it. Quickly inside to Jordan Masterson, who banks it off the glass and in for 2. Make it 15-11. Mold will kind of relax for just a moment, take it up the court. Now driving inside the paint. Tries to go to Dakota Schmidt. It gets bumped, but Schmidt still brings it in. Mold trying to work that fine line on the boundary underneath the basket. Gives it back to Owen Dick. Now top of the key for William Volk. And now inside, Doss working through defenders, puts it up and in for 2. Doss will get 2 more points on the board. And he has now 9. The shot is up and no good. Swatted from behind. Looks like we're going to get a foul on Rush City. And that one's going to go against William Volk, and that will send Hinckley-Finlayson to the line to shoot 2. Silas Lefebvre at the line for the Jaguars. First one is up and no good from Silas Lefebvre. That'll keep the score 15-11, 12:40 to go here in half number 1. Tigers with the lead, and checking into the game for the first time for Hinckley-Finlayson is going to be Seth Olson. As well as number 42, that's Harrison Kreft. LaFave makes one of two to make it 15-12. And Schmidt gives it to Mold. Mold, he'll give it off to Volk. Volk trying to drive inside, loses his dribble, and getting it was Steele. Now out to Visser for three, and it's good. Steele with the steal, and Visser with the three. And now we get a timeout called here, as it is a 17-15 game, and the Jaguars have made it a 2-point deficit after getting up the court quickly and getting Trey Visser with a three. The Jaguars keeping it close here early on. We see again that the Jaguars are trying to the Tigers are trying to set the pace early on and trying to get Hinckley-Finlayson uncomfortable, but Hinckley-Finlayson so far up to the task. And that first timeout going to be taken by Hinckley-Finlayson. They'll have 4 left in the entirety of the game. 17-15 is the score with 12:21 to go, and I apologize if that scoreboard doesn't get updated right away. It is such a fast-paced game. I want to make sure that the camera sees the action before I get to the points. I'll keep you updated either way. Now checking in is, I believe that's number 3 for the Tigers. Jameson Wood shot is up, no good. Landon Mold with the rebound, and he got his own rebound again, and he was fouled hard as he went up for that shot. And he'll go to the line and shoot 2. That foul going to be called on Seth Olson. His first. And Mold's first one is up and good to make it a 3-point lead now for the Tigers. And misses the second, so he'll make 1 of 2. Rebounded there by Griffin Steele. They go up the court quickly, do the Jaguars. Griffin Steele gives it off to Trey Visser on the near side for 3. That is good from Trey Visser to give this game a tie at 18. Anthony Doss quickly up the way for the Tigers. He stops, gives it underneath to Chase O'Flanagan, who tries to put it up. His shot is no good. Now back to Anthony Doss, and he'll put it up and in for 2 to make it 20-18. And the other way go the Jaguars, and to Harrison Kreft, and we're going to say he traveled. So the ball will go back to the Tigers. Wood gives it off to Mold, and Mold will work on Seth Olson. Gets it into the front court now, gives it off to Wood. Now to Anthony Dawson, near side corner. He drives inside the paint, stops on his drive, turns around, puts up a shot. It's no good, rebounded by Chase O'Flanagan, and then it's tipped and going to be stolen away here by the Jaguars. And that was Seth Olson who got the steal, rebounded by Seth Olson to Silas LaFave for 2. Seth Olson with a steal and a rebound on that trip, and then 2 for Silas LaFave to make it 20 all here in this one. Landon Mold gives it off to O'Flanagan. Flanagan now to Volk, and Wood for 3. It's up and no good. A race for the rebound. Going to be taken in by Silas LaFave. LaFave gives it back to Olson. His shot is up, no good. And players collide. They fall to the court, and not sure if this is going to be a foul or if that ball went out of bounds off someone. I think the ref's going to come to the scores table and call a foul. I believe they're going to get O'Flanagan? No. I'm really not sure who they called that one on. Is that Volk? Might have been. So 3 team fouls for the Tigers, 1 for the Jaguars. This inbound goes to Seth Olson. Olson gives it back to Trey Visser for 3. That's no good. And Griffin Steele tried to throw it off of a defender. O'Flanagan not going to work, and O'Flanagan will hold on to it for the steal. Shot is up by Landon Mold. No good. Rebounded here by LaFave. And Lefebvre almost lost it. He'll give it to Trey Visser, and Visser will give it up to Griffin Steele. Steele now in the near side corner for Seth Olson. He fakes a three, now drives inside. Gives it back out to Silas Lefebvre on the far side for three. That's good from Silas Lefebvre. And all of a sudden, the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars have a 23-20 lead. 9:54 to go. Now with it, that's Matthew Kempf. Kempf drives inside, backs it out to Volk. Volk going to drive inside himself, puts up a shot off the backboard and in for two. William Volk, a beautiful shot there from him. And now it's a 23-22 deficit for the Tigers. Lefebvre with it, gives it inside to Harrison Kreft. He tries to go all the way across court, but Landon Mold right there waiting for that one, and he gets the steal. Quickly down the court trying to find Kempf. Instead, it's going to be intercepted for the most part by Silas Lefebvre. He works inside, gives it back out to Visser. Visser goes into the corner now for Griffin Steele, and that ball is tipped once again, and give the steal this time to Jamison Wood, and give an assist if you can on the steal. Kempf down deep, gives it back outside to Chase O'Flanagan for three. It's no good, and got the rebound for a moment, and Steele had it stolen. I do not know who got that steal. I didn't see it. We'll give it to Kempf. Now inside, Landon Mold. He's looking. He gives it out to Volk. Now to Wood. Back out to Kempf. To Mold. Again, this Tigers team does such a great job of passing the ball. And Harrison Kreft going to get the foul that time for the Jaguars. Flanagan will inbound to Wood. Wood will work to the far side, gives it off to Owen Dick. Dick gives it back to Kempf. Kempf at top of the key, gives it now to O'Flanagan. O'Flanagan thought about going inside, gives it off to Volk. Volk shot is up and no good. Rebounded there by number 33 for the Jaguars. I'll give you a second, give me a second if you will, to see who that is, and that is Everett Osmus, and a three rings in and out from Seth Olson, and then it's rebounded here by Owen Dick. Owen Dick with the rebound for the Tigers. 23-22 is the lead for Hinckley-Finlayson. 8:10 to go here in the first half. Volk gives it back to Wood. Wood going to give it back to Volk. And Volk, they're going to get him with his heel on the boundary. That'll be a turnover, and they will give it back to Hinckley-Finlayson. So the Jaguars have it once again. Again, they lead 23-22. On that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Lefebvre gives it off to Degerstrom. And looks like Degerstrom is going to be fouled. This time they're going to call Jamison Wood for the foul. That's his first, team's fourth. And again, I do not know who had that other foul. We do have O'Flanagan with one, so it was him. Silas Lefebvre will get the inbound pass here. Lefebvre with 7:45 to go. He steps back, calls an offensive play, and now drives inside. He loses the ball just for a moment, and he grabs it back, gives it now to Griffin Steele. Griffin Steele finds a lane inside, puts it up off the backboard and in for two. Griffin Steele with a nice move there to make it 25-22. A 3-point lead now for the Jaguars. Kempf, he'll give it off to Anthony that's Owen Dick, who drives inside, puts it up off the glass and in for two. And it's back to a 1-point lead now for Hinckley-Finlayson, 25-24. Lefebvre trying to work inside. He carries the ball and passes it back out to Levi Degerstrom, but they're going to get a foul here on Rush City. And we will wait. Looks like that's going to be on Owen Dick. He will get the foul, and that'll be the team's fifth and his first. 7:11 to go. 25-24 is the Hinckley-Finlayson lead over Rush City. Griffin Steele inbounds to Lefebvre. Lefebvre going to go to the top of the key. Trying to work on Rude. He works inside, gives it off now to Everett Osmus. His shot is up and no good. He gets his own rebound there, but then it's going to be poked out, and Levi Degerstrom comes down with it. Seth Olson looks for three. That's no good, and Owen Dick comes down with the rebound here for the Tigers. He'll give it off here to Jamison Wood. He switches direction, gives it off near side to O'Flanagan, back across to Braden Rude. Rude's going to drive inside. Now he puts up a shot that is blocked by Everett Osmus, but it is going to go out of bounds off of the Jaguars. And Everett Osmus, give him credit for the block, but it will stay with the Tigers. 6:42 to go. 25-24 is the lead here for Hinckley-Finlayson. Get a couple substitutions. Dakota Schmidt will check back in, as will Anthony Doss for the Tigers. Landon Mold still getting a much-needed rest on the bench right now. Him and Anthony Doss, I mean, between those two, Schmidt has to just throw it in off of a Jaguar body to kind of reset the inbound clock. So they'll get to do it again, reset that 5 seconds, and he will quickly get it inbounded to Anthony Doss, who nearly loses it but holds on to it just in time. But he gives it off, and it's going to be stolen away by, for a moment, Everett Osmus. We won't give a steal, though, because he couldn't hold on to it, and Anthony Doss fighting for it, keeping up with it. Just before it went out of bounds, he threw it, or mainly hit it off of the defender to give it back to his team. And this one nearly stolen away on the pass to Owen Dick. He drives to the basket, puts it up and in for two. So Dick will give the Tigers back their lead, 26-25 with 6:20 to go here in the first half on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Step back three from Silas Lefebvre is clean through. Silas Lefebvre showing off here, 28-26, puts his team back up by 2. And it's going to be Dakota Schmidt who drives inside. His shot is up and no good, but he was fouled by Silas Lefebvre, so he'll get to go to the line and shoot 2. Lefebvre, his first, team's third. And it's, again, Dakota Schmidt at the line to shoot 2. 28-26 is the Jaguar lead with 6:03 to go. Schmidt's first one is up and good to make it 28-27 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lynchburg, and Cambridge. And also, Dr. Sievers is committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today at EmbraceMN.com. Dakota Schmidt makes both for his first points of the game to tie this one at 28 apiece. As we duck under 6 minutes to go now in the first half, Silas Lefebvre works with it in the front court, gives it off now to Seth Olson. Seth Olson fakes the 3. He drives inside. His shot is up and no good, but he was fouled on his way to the basket, and he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. We'll get to see who this one is on, and that one's going to be on Braden Rude, who unfortunately had to check out late in that game last night with his 5th foul. That will be the team's 6th, his first. And again, it is Seth Olson at the line to shoot 2. And potentially give his team the lead right back. First one is up and good to make it 29-28 in favor of Hinckley-Finlayson. Landon Mold will check back in for Chase O'Flanagan. This one is up from Seth Olson. No good, and the rebound taken there by Owen Dick, and now we get a whistle and I believe a foul on Hinckley-Finlayson. That is going to go against Seth Olson, his 2nd foul, the team's 4th. 29-28 is the score. Landon Mold will inbound here to Dakota Schmidt. Schmidt will take it to the far side. That was nearly stolen away from Owen Dick. He goes inside now to Landon Mold. Mold, he's going to be fouled on his way up for a shot. So Mold will go to the line to shoot 2. And that's going to go against Everett Osmus. His first, team's now 5th. And 2 on the same offense possession for Rush City. Not what you want if you're Hinckley-Finlayson. Mold's first one is good to tie this one at 29. That's another thing that kind of did not help Rush City last night. Their free throw started to kind of, I don't want to say fall apart, but that's kind of the way how it felt last night for him. It just kind of started to fall out of rhythm. Checking in now is Chase Clare, number 5. And Landon Mold hits both to make it 30-29. Silas Lefebvre works with it now on the front court for the Jaguars. He'll give it back to Trey Visser, and that's going to be stolen away by Landon Mold, and then he throws it into some traffic, and it is going to be nearly stolen away by Everett Osmus. He dives after it, but he slides out of bounds, and it will stay with the Tigers. So the Rush City Tigers catch a break there, as that should have been stolen away, but they get a break with 5:25 to go. They lead 30-29. It's Anthony Doss trying to back it in on Trey Visser. He'll give it back out top of the key to Landon Mold. Mold fakes a pass, goes inside, now gives it back to Braden Rude. He gives it off to Owen Dick. Dick tries to drive inside, gives it back outside on the far side to Landon Mold. Mold, he's going to drive through some traffic, put up a shot. It's through and one. So Landon Mold with the basket. He'll get a shot at the three-point play, 32-29. Mold has the team leading 14 points now after that three-point play is complete. 33-29 is the score in favor of the Tigers with 5 minutes to go in this first half. Lefebvre, he'll bounce past to Trey Visser. Visser gives it off the near side corner to Degerstrom. He'll pass it back to Lefebvre on the elbow. Now top of the key to Claire. Back across to Visser on the far side elbow. Now to Levi Degerstrom in the corner. All the way across court here to Lefebvre, who gets set for a three. Shot is up and no good. Braden Rude comes down with the rebound here for the Tigers. He gives it off Landon Mold. He takes it up the court, tries to work it inside, gives it to Rude. Now in the corner to Owen Dick. Now inside to Landon Mold, and his shot nearly stolen, but he somehow gets it through the traffic, up and in for two. And that'll make it 35-29. Is there a timeout called? Or? Well, I'm not sure exactly what that was. They went there was a whistle. They went to the scores table, and then they came back, and then there was a timeout. So I'm not 100% sure kind of what happened there. But either way, it is a timeout called by the Jaguars. They'll have 3 left here in the game, and the Tigers lead this one in the first half with 4.5 minutes to go. 35-29. Landon Mold leads the team with 16 points right now. He also has 5 rebounds in the game right now, 2 steals. Owen Dick has 3 rebounds and 4 points. Anthony Doss, he has 11 points and a rebound plus a steal. They do have, each team now has 6 team fouls. Hinckley-Finlayson held on to the lead there for a good margin of the first half, and then Rush City came back and got into their rhythm on offense, and now back out to a 6-point lead for the Tigers, as they will look to try and extend this lead over the Great River Conference foe, the Jaguars. But the Jaguars hanging right with the Tigers. So if you're the Jaguars, you know right now you can hang with this team, and you can have a chance at winning this game. So Jaguars shouldn't be discouraged at all with the 6-point deficit. They've got plenty of game left to keep up with the Tigers and try and escape Rush City with a victory. Lefebvre will get the inbound pass from Visser, and Lefebvre will work it up the court. He's going to be double-teamed, gets a screen from Visser. Bounce pass here to Degerstrom, who has it blocked by Owen Dick, who comes out of nowhere for that block. And I seen that one coming from a ways. Levi Degerstrom had no chance on that one. Goes out of bounds, and it will stay with the Jaguars, but Owen Dick, he's feeling it after that one. Degerstrom will inbound here. Trey Visser back to Degerstrom. Degerstrom goes across court to Lefebvre. Lefebvre wanted to go inside to Visser, and he does. Now to Everett Osmus, who tries to get it off the glass. It's no good. A rebound here by Degerstrom. Degerstrom takes it, tries to drive inside, now gives it off to Chase Clare. That is up, no good. Braden Rude will come down with the rebound here for the Tigers. He gives it off to Landon Mold, and Mold will take it up the court. Anthony Doss deep, ready for the pass, but defense is there, but he'll give it off outside to Owen Dick for 3. That's no good, and Anthony Doss comes down with another rebound. He goes inside. His shot is up. It's no good, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. That'll be the 7th team foul here for the Jaguars, and Visser's first. Anthony Doss at the line to shoot 2. His team leads 35-29 and now 36-29. Jordan Masterson checks back in for Everett Osmus. And Anthony Doss trying to get both of his free throws through with 3:47 to go. He makes them both and makes it 37-29, an 8-point lead for the Tigers. Lefebvre will work it up the court now for Hinckley-Finlayson. He's looking to go through a double team. He does to the far side. Bounce pass now to Degerstrom, going inside to Jordan Masterson. And that shot is up. No good. Rude again with another rebound here for the Tigers. Quickly up the court for Owen Dick. Gives it off now to Anthony Doss. Doss guarded well. Tries to drive inside. Gives it out to Dakota Schmidt on the near side for three. That's no good. Right into the hands of Silas Lefebvre for the rebound. Lefebvre going to use his speed. Gets it up to the basket, and it falls through. Their first basket in a couple minutes. It's 37-31. Now Anthony Doss again. He's going to work quickly. And a nice shot there from Anthony Doss. The body control to make it 39-31. Anthony Doss showing why he is a very, very good player. And again, I talked about the body control and the balance, and it showed right there. Visser with it, now gives it off to Degerstrom for the Jaguars on the far side. Across the court to Clare. Clare going to drive inside, now gives it to Visser. Visser going to work, try the reverse layup. It's up and good from Visser. Nice job there by Visser. Great passing, too, from the Jaguars, and it's 39-33. Doss with it on the near side, gives it back to Landon Mold, top of the key, right back to Doss on the near side. He puts up a shot for three, and it's through. Anthony Doss for a three makes it 42-33. 9-point lead now for the Tigers with 2:20 to go. Lefebvre will pull up from the free throw line. It's no good. I like the shot, but it is no good. Owen Dick will get the rebound here for the Tigers. He gives it quickly up the court to Anthony Doss. Doss gives it back to Dakota Schmidt. Schmidt wanted to pass, but no one there. Gives it off to Landon Mold. Mold left alone. Instead, he does not decide to take the three. Instead, goes inside to Owen Dick, who turns around, puts up the shot. No good. And the rebound taken in there by Trey Visser. Visser will go quickly up the court to Degerstrom, now to Lefebvre. Lefebvre, he's double teamed. Gives it off to Degerstrom. Degerstrom back out to Chase Clare. Clare going to drive inside, and he lost his dribble. Gives it back outside to Lefebvre, now to Visser. Visser fakes the three, pulls it down, and he'll give it right back to Lefebvre. Lefebvre, again, he's not afraid to pull up from deep, so you got to watch out for that. Lefebvre has got great ball handling, but this one's going to be stolen away by Dakota Schmidt. Schmidt takes it to the basket, kisses it up off the glass, in for two to make it 44-33, an 11-point lead now for the Tigers with 1:25 to go here in the first half. Visser gets a screen. Ooh, might have been more of an illegal screen. Visser works through the double team, puts up a shot. It is no good. It's Braden Root again with the rebound. To Owen Dick, now to Doss. Anthony Doss to Dakota Schmidt, inside to Owen Dick, back out to Anthony Doss in the near side corner for three. Doss is off the mark. Mold gets a hand on it. Owen Dick is going to come down with the rebound, back out to Anthony Doss for three. It's good! Anthony Doss is feeling it right now. 47-33 is the score. Rush City starting to pull away now with under 50 seconds to go, and Lefebvre lost his dribble. And it will go out of bounds off of Lefebvre, and the Tigers will get it right back, 47-33 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, helping you find a smile you'll embrace forever. You can find out more at embracemn.com. Landon Mold will get the inbound from Dakota Schmidt. Mold will pick up his dribble, give it right back to Dakota Schmidt. 40 seconds to go, gives it to Kempf. Matthew Kempf, double team. That pass is tipped. Owen, bodies collide. Owen Dick comes down with it. They collide again. Landon Mold will get the pass. Landon Mold trying to drive inside. They're letting a little bit of the physicality go here. And, maybe that was a foul, but he gives it off to Matthew Kemp, near side for three. That is no good. Mold comes out of absolutely nowhere to get the rebound, and now Jordan Masterson showing off the wheels. The big man can run. He gets the rebound, and he passes it off to Silas Lefebvre. And Lefebvre's shot is no good, but he was fouled on his way up, so he'll go to the line and shoot two. That foul is going to be on Dakota Schmidt. His second, team's seventh, and Silas Lefebvre is at the line to shoot two with 15 seconds to go. It's a 47-33 lead here for the Tigers. Lefebvre's first one is up and hits off the front of the rim and slides through to make it 47-34. Lefebvre will look for this one. That's off the front of the rim. It does not fall through. Landon Mold going to get the rebound. So they're going to have a chance again at points at last second. Oh, and a charge call on the Tigers offense. I believe that was Owen Dick who got the charge. It is. So Owen Dick will get the charge call, and it's 47-34. And the Jaguars will have the chance for the last second shot to end the half. And end the half with his team getting the last points. There goes. Trey Visser takes it to the three-point line, gives it inside to Jordan Masterson. His shot is up and no good. Braden Rude gets the rebound, and he did not get it off in time. Even if it did get through, Mole did not get it off in time. So Braden Rude will get another rebound here to end the half. And we go to halftime with the score reading on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard: 47 for the Rush City Tigers, 34 for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. Don't forget, Embrace Orthodontics, your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. You can find out more at their website, embracemn.com. So we'll head to the half here with the Tigers leading the Jaguars 47-34. We'll take a commercial break here, a word from our fine sponsors. Then when we come back, I'll recap the first half for you and also give you my keys to the game for these two teams to try and come away with the victory here tonight. You're listening to Boys Basketball on 100.9 FM, WCMP.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a 4-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride. like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/get there. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Ethan Game Day Gilman with you back here on 100.9 FM WCMP. The Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars trail the Rush City Tigers 47-34 here at halftime on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, they'll do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. There we go. I can English today. And if you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget at embracemn.com. Looking at the first half stats for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, leading the way for them was Silas Lefebvre with 15 points. He had 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 fouls. Trey Visser was their next leading scorer with 10 points, 1 rebound, and 1 foul as well. Then Griffin Steele and Jordan Masterson both had 4 points, and Seth Olson had a lone point as well. Silas Lefebvre was their leading rebounder and stealer, and then they did have a block from Everett Osmus, who got that one. They did have 7 team fouls there in the first half and 4 total steals. On the other side for the guys in blue, the Rush City Tigers, who lead this game, leading the way for them. Early on, it was Landon Mold, and it looked like the Landon Mold show. It looked like he was going to take over and just run away with this one. He led with 16 points early on, but Anthony Doss, they got it to him and got him going, and he got hot there towards the end of that first half, and he led the team in the first half with 21 points, followed by Landon Mold with 16, 4 for Dakota Schmidt and Owen Dick, and 2 for William Volk. Rebound-wise, it was, let's see, it looks to be Landon Mold, who led the team with 7 rebounds there in that first half, and then 5 for Owen Dick and Braden Rude. Braden Rude really played a big role there in the second half, getting a ton of in fact, most, if not all of his rebounds came there in the latter part of the first half, and he really helped get them kind of on that roll that they went on, because Hinckley-Finlayson led there kind of midway till the later half of the first half, and then all of a sudden Rush City took over, and Braden Rude was a big part of that with his rebounds. They had 7 total steals in that first half as a team. Landon Mold had 2 of them, and then they had 8 total fouls in the first half as well, 2 for Schmidt and Owen Dick. So no real foul trouble here in this half for either team, really. I think, it looks like Silas Lefebvre and Seth Olson both have 2 for the Jaguars. So it was a fun first half. The pace, again, when you see Rush City, you know that the pace is going to be quick. They're going to get up and down the court quickly. They're going to waste no time. They don't jog up the court. There is no, let's take it slow and try and figure out something. No, it is get the rebound, and they're already in the front court. I mean, it is in the blink, quite literally, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that. It is quite literally in the blink of an eye after that rebound that they are up the court and ready to go on offense. So they waste no time when they have the ball, either on a rebound, on a steal, or a block. They get up the court quickly. And again, one thing that they do is they'll have Anthony Doss kind of sit behind the defense, or the offense, should I say, and wait for his defense to make a play, whether it's get a rebound, a block, a steal, and then he'll kind of sit at around that center court mark and wait for that. Now, there are times where he is in the thick of things trying to get a swat, a steal, a block, a rebound, what have you, but a lot of times they will kind of set him up to kind of sit around center court and wait for his team to get a rebound and steal, and then he'll just take one step, be in the front court, and he'll already be under the basket, and he'll be ready to take that shot. And a lot of times that's what happens, and it works so well for the Rush City Tigers that defenses just don't, or opposing teams just don't really have a chance to kind of react to it, because they do it in such a way where they kind of sneakily do it, and a lot of times you won't even notice that he's not even in the thick of things before he's back getting a shot up. I think for Hinckley-Finlayson, you're going to have to watch out for that, because Anthony Doss did get hot. The two you're going to have to watch out for, of course, are Mold and Anthony Doss. And then on offense, just keep running your offense. Excuse me, I apologize. Keep running your offense the way you did there in the first half. It's, sooner than later things will come. And the way they ran their offense there, that's how they had that lead and held on to it for a short amount of time. But just going to have to keep running it that same way. For Rush City, I think you're just going to, again, kind of the same theme on offense. Run the way you have been. Don't really need to change things. On defensively, you're going to have to watch Silas Lefebvre, his quick twitch and his quick moves. He is twitchy out there. When he has the ball in his hands, he's a great ball handler. So you're going to have to watch out for him. But also the rebounds, you got to make sure you're getting the rebounds. We noticed it. When they got the rebounds, that's kind of when their offense started to get rolling. Both teams have missed a shot, and now Braden Rude underneath the basket goes up. No good, but he gets his own rebound, puts it back up, and in for two for his sixth rebound, and now his team has a 49-34 lead. Silas Lefebvre gives it off in the paint to, that is Steele, gives it out to Visser. Now back to Lefebvre. Now to Degerstrom all the way over to Visser. Back out to Lefebvre, and again, you can't leave Lefebvre that wide open. He's not afraid to throw up a shot from that far. He makes Anthony Doss miss, now gives it off to Degerstrom, and Degerstrom's going to pull up, and his shot is short, and he tries to keep the ball alive, but it's going to be taken by Landon Mold up the court, trying to get it to Doss, and Doss, his shot is up and good. Doss, it doesn't matter what position his body is in, he is going to get away to get that shot to fall through the net, and he did right there. Silas Lefebvre in some trouble, gives it off to Visser. Visser on the near side, trying to find someone to get it to. Inside to Jordan Masterson. It is swatted away by Braden Rude, but Jordan Masterson comes up with it, gives it now to Degerstrom, who puts it up off the glass, in for two. Braden Rude with a swat there. This ball going to go out of bounds, and it will stay with the Tigers. 51-36 they lead with just under 16 minutes to go. Schmidt will give it off to Anthony Doss. Doss trying to work inside. He's looking to give it to Mold. Mold has it now. Near side elbow for three. It's good. Landon Mold for three makes it 54-36. Again, their offense kind of starting where they left off in that first half. Visser fakes the three, gives it out to Lefebvre. Now all the way across court to Levi Degerstrom on the far side. Going inside to Masterson. Now to Trey Visser on the near side for three. That's off the back of the rim. No good. Owen Dick gets the rebound, and they're going to get a quick whistle here on the Jaguars. That'll be their first of the second half, and the second for Trey Visser. I'll have to go all the way back to the back court, will the Tigers, to inbound. Looks like the Jaguars won't pressure them at all. So Mold will get an easy inbound to Dakota Schmidt, and then he'll give it quickly off to Braden Rude. Rude going to drive in, gives it off to Mold now on the far side elbow, gives it back to Owen Dick. Dick going to drive inside, gives it back out to Braden Rude on the far side corner. He wanted to go to Schmidt. He wants Anthony Doss, and Doss is going to go up and bring down the pass, now trying to work inside. He loses his ball, and then it's stolen away by Levi Degerstrom, who Does not get it to fall. Braden Rude will get the rebound, and Anthony Doss, beautiful passing. Just beautiful right there. Beautiful passing by the Rush City Tigers, and being a good teammate, Anthony Doss was to Dakota Schmidt, who put it up and in for two. Lefebvre's going to pull up from college three. It's no good, but it falls into the hands of Levi Degerstrom for two. So Degerstrom will make it 56-38. It's Owen Dick with it. Fake to go inside, gives off to Braden Rude for three. It's a line drive shot, no good. Levi Degerstrom will come down with the rebound for Hinckley-Finlayson. Gives off to Lefebvre, now to Steele, Now it looks like we're going to get a foul here on Rush City with 4:15 to go. That's going to go against Owen Dick, his third, so all of a sudden he's in a tiny bit of foul trouble. Steele will inbound it, and Mold one-handed with the steal. And that pass to Anthony Doss is no good, but Dakota Schmidt right there waited for the rebound and put it back up and in for two. Landon Mold has just been all over tonight, and yeah, I mean, when he is on, it's just, you just wish a team luck. Jordan Masterson's going to pull up from the free throw line. He banks it in for two. Jordan Masterson, he's a bigger guy, but he does such a good job out there. He has got some quick feet for a bigger guy, and a three from Dakota Schmidt on the other side. Makes it 61-40. So starting to pull away are the Tigers and trying to make this one out of reach, but Visser, a great pass. He puts it up in for two. It's 61-42. Meanwhile, the Tigers have it. Landon Mold trying to drive inside. Spin move, gives it out to Dakota Schmidt on the far side corner. Now back inside to Landon Mold, who works through traffic, up and in for two. Landon Mold, a very strong, steady player. And he gets through, again, a ton of hands. Puts it up and in for two. Now a chance at a three-point play. That foul is going to be the first on Levi Degerstrom, his team's second here in the final half. Landon Mold at the line to shoot the and one for the possible three-point play. It's good. Three-point play is completed, and it's 64-42 now in favor of Rush City. Lefebvre with it. 13 minutes to go. Gives off to Masterson. Inside to Steele. Now out to Degerstrom. Degerstrom looks at the net for three. It's no good. And rebound by Rude. Rude will give it off to Mold. Mold swiftly running through the defense, spins around, gets his back to the defender. It's poked out by Degerstrom, and Degerstrom somehow comes up with a steal there. Now gives it off to Trey Visser for three off the front of the rim. No good. Lefebvre will come down with the rebound. He'll take it for three from the near side corner, and that is good. His first points of the second half will make it 45-64. A 19-point lead here for the Rush City Tigers with under 12 and a half to go. Anthony Doss works with it on the far side. Gives it off to Braden Rude. Rude fakes, gives it off to Anthony Doss. Doss finds a lane. He drives inside. Shot is up and no good. And just a great job there by Anthony Doss to double clutch and get the contact, absorb the contact, and draw the foul. That is going to be the first on Griffin Steele, the third in the half for Hinckley-Finlayson. Anthony Doss going to shoot two. First one, no good. 64-45 is the score. 12-13 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, custom braces or Invisalign with 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and Cambridge. EmbraceMN.com. Doss's second one is no good as well. And racing after the rebound, Jordan Masterson got it. And Landon Mold gets the steal. He got his own rebound, put it up and in for two. So Masterson got the rebound, but then Mold got the steal. Now Masterson working with it. It was poked out. He gives it back to Degerstrom now to Lefebvre for three. It's no good, and rebounded here by Anthony Doss. Doss quickly up the court, works through some defenders, gives it off to Landon Mold. He's going to take a three, and that's good. Landon Mold, beautiful pass from his teammate there. That'll make it 69-45. Lefebvre for three on the far side is good. To make it 69-48 in favor of the Tigers. It's William Volk with it on the near side. He's going to drive inside. Owen Dick nearly had it stolen away. Oh, and that is Owen Dick. Owen Dick falls hard as Trey Visser was going after the ball aggressively. And that's he wasn't trying to be mean about that one. He was trying to go aggressive after the ball. And unfortunately, Owen Dick wound up falling on top of him because he went so aggressively after it. And sometimes when you fall, there's no chance of the defender not falling, and that's kind of what happened there. So the fourth team foul, the third for Visser. As now Dakota Schmidt has it. He gives it off to Landon Mold on the far side for three. That's off the mark, and Lefebvre going to come down with the rebound here for Hinckley-Finlayson. Gives it off to Trey Visser. Visser has it blocked by Owen Dick, but Masterson comes up with the rebound, and Lefebvre for three is good. So Masterson came up with the rebound again, and Lefebvre is good from three. Mold with it on the other side in their front court for Rush City. He gives it off to William Volk, puts up the three. It's good! William Volk for three, and that will make it 72-51. With it is Levi Degerstrom here. He gives it off to Seth Olson. Olson back to Lefebvre. Now over to Levi Degerstrom on the far side of the court. Now to Lefebvre. Lefebvre drives inside. Gives it off to Seth Olson on the near side. It's a little too flat on the shot, and Levi Degerstrom attempted to get the rebound, but he stepped on the line. So the ball will go back to the Tigers. Get a couple substitutions here. Everett Osmus checks in for Jordan Masterson, and looks like we got a timeout with 9:54 to go. And looks like Rush City called the timeout. So Rush City takes their second timeout. They'll be left with three in the game, and they lead 72-51 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, Dr. Sievers is committed to providing a world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Start today at embracemn.com. 72-51 is the Tigers' lead with 9:54 to go. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. You're listening to this game on 100.9 FM, or maybe you're watching it on our YouTube via our website at WCMPradio.com. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can get the notification when we go live with our next local game, so that you get the notification as to when it starts and you can watch and or listen. And Tigers will get to inbound here after Levi Degerstrom tried to get a rebound, but he stepped on the boundary line, and the Tigers will take over. Landon Mold on the far side. He'll give it off to William Volk. Volk tries to go inside, gives it back to Mold. Mold finds the lane, gives it back out to Owen Dick. Now to Dakota Schmidt. Schmidt at the top of the key, gives it off far side to Jamison Wood. Wood works inside. His shot is up and no good, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot a couple. Going to be the fifth team foul on Hinckley-Finlayson, and that's going to go against Chase Clare, his first. Again, team's fifth. And Jamison Wood at the line to shoot two. His first one is up and no good. So Wood will attempt his second. He missed the first. Gets this one to fall. Wood with 1 point here in the game and makes it 73-51. Silas Lefebvre, he'll bounce pass here to Clare. Clare, double team, tries to go across court, but Owen Dick gets a hand on it. But unfortunately, it will go past his hand and out of bounds, so it will stay with the Jaguars. Chase O'Flanagan checks in for Landon Mold. Degerstrom will get set to inbound for Hinckley-Finlayson. He does to Clare. Clare working past Dakota Schmidt. He gives it off. near far side for three from Seth Olson. It is no good. O'Flanagan will come up with the rebound for Rush City. And he'll give it off to Volk. Now to Dick. Dick wanted to pass it across court, gives it off to Volk. Volk finds a lane. He drives inside, puts it up off the glass and in for two for William Volk to make it 75-51. Lefebvre will just leisurely take it up the court. Gets a screen from Clare. Pulls up from three, and that's off the mark. And Owen Dick gets an easy rebound there for the Tigers. O'Flanagan gives it off now to Wood. Wood drives inside, backs it out on the far side for Dakota Schmidt for three. It's off the mark, and getting the rebound there is Chase Clare. Giving it off to Seth Olson now on the far side. He wanted to go for two, but gets through to defenders, gives it off to Clare, now to Lefebvre. Lefebvre goes inside quickly to Seth Olson, who puts it up and in for two, plus the and one. Beautiful passing there by the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, and Seth Olson will get points there as it is going to be the second foul on O'Flanagan. And the second team foul for Rush City. And Seth Olson has a chance at a three-point play. His shot is up and no good, so no three-point play as the rebound is, well, it was taken there by Everett Osmus, but it's stolen away by the Tigers. And Braden Rude looks for the rebound there. He'll give it back outside now to Jamison Wood. Owen Dick gets it from Wood. Top of the key, gives it off to Dakota Schmidt. Wood in the far side corner for three. That's good from Jamison Wood to make it 78-53. And the Tigers have kind of officially put this one not quite out of reach yet. They're still just under 8 minutes to go as Silas Lefebvre will give it off to Degerstrom. Degerstrom's going to pull up just outside of the basket, and it's no good. Rebounded by Braden Rude. Owen Dick has it, gives it off to Dakota Schmidt. Dakota Schmidt wants to drive inside. Instead, he'll have to back it out to Owen Dick. Dick tries to find a lane inside. He'll give it back to Dakota Schmidt. Now back out to Jamison Wood, and we'll get a timeout called here by the Rush City Tigers, who lead 78-53 with 7:33 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. The Tigers will be left with two timeouts here in this second half. And as we take a look at the scoreboard, two team fouls for the Tigers, 5 for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars with 7:33 to go in this game. It's a 78-53 lead for Rush City, and you just wonder if we'll see Mold and Anthony Doss again. I'm sure we will, because this game is far from over, but how much more will we see them too? Because this one, again, it's not out of reach yet. There is still plenty of time for Hinckley-Finlayson to mount a comeback, but 78-53, it's a 25-point game. That is going to be tough to overcome with only 7.5 minutes to go. So, and again, Rush City continues to score, so it's not like they're not scoring. They do continue to score, and it's going to be hard for Hinckley-Finlayson to kind of overcome that. And I'm not saying they can't, but it would be one heck of a feat if they were to do that. What's that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard sponsoring the scoreboard at 78-53. The Tigers lead the Jaguars. Embrace Orthodontics helping you find a smile you will embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. Timeout is over with, and both teams will head back to the court. It's going to be the Tigers who will get set to inbound. Jamison Wood looks. He's going to lob it to Braden Rude. Rude back to Wood. Wood on that far side part of the court. Nearly loses his dribble. Clare with the defense. Gives it to Dakota Schmidt, who's in the far side corner now. He wanted to go to Owen Dick. He's covered well. Now he's going to drive inside, and he stepped on the boundary line, did Dakota Schmidt, so they'll have to give it back to Hinckley-Finlayson. And Seth Olson will inbound it here to Trey Visser. Visser works it up the court, gets a screen, and now pass it in the near side corner to number 23. That's Peyton Ammerman. I wonder if his sister was Michaela Ammerman. Again, Peyton Ammerman out there for the Jaguars. And Clare with a shot. It is no good. Rebounded by Seth Olson. And a shot for three from Visser is no good. 7:02 to go. 78-53 lead. Owen Dick will check out of the game for Landon Mold. So he will come into the game. And O'Flanagan inbounds to Wood. O'Flanagan will take it up the court as he gets the pass back from Wood. He gives it off now to Braden Rude. Rude works at the top of the court, just inside the perimeter, and he wanted to give it to Dakota Schmidt. Instead, he gives it back to Dakota Schmidt, who gets around the defense. And Rush City wanted a travel call. Probably should have got one, but the refs did not notice it. So he gets away with one. Seth Olson, he'll give it back over to Clare, now to Visser. Visser fakes, and he'll pass to Clare, but before he can, he was fouled. That'll be the third team foul on Rush City, and the third there for Dakota Schmidt. Visser will get set to inbound. Smacks the ball, gives it into Clare. Clare, top of the key. He's swarmed upon by two defenders, but he gets around them both. Pass now out to Ammerman. Ammerman to Visser, back out to Ammerman. Now to Clare. Clare will kind of reset things at the top of the key, gives it off to Olson. Olson going to drive inside. He tried to no-look pass to Visser. Visser wasn't ready, and he had it poked out as it goes out of bounds, but it will stay with the Jaguars. So it was last touched by the Tigers. Anthony Doss will check in for Jamison Wood. So Doss and Mold back out there for the Tigers. Clare will inbound here to Olson. Gives it off now to Trey Visser on the far side of the court and gives it back to Seth Olson. Olson now in the near side corner to Clare. Back to Visser, back to Ammerman. Ammerman pauses, gives it off on the far side to Olson, who had to tote that line, and he does. Now to Clare, to Everett Osmus. Osmus cannot get full control of the ball, and we're going to get a timeout called here by Hinckley-Finlayson, and that's a smart call there by Dan Kreft. He had really no option but to call a timeout, because if he wouldn't have, probably would have been a jump ball, and the possession arrow, I cannot see who it faces right now. It does face the Jaguars, so he wants to keep that possession arrow in his team's favor, so he called a timeout there. 80-53 is the score in favor of the Rush City Tigers. 5:53 to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Your customized smile journey starts with the free consultation. The team at Embrace Orthodontics wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom braces or Invisalign. You can find out more at embracemn.com. Timeout just about over with. Tigers making their way back to the court. And here come the Jaguars. Trey Visser will look to inbound, and he's got no one to really go to. He's going to have to get it in quickly. Ammerman tried to grab it, but it's going to be stolen away by Anthony Doss. Dakota Schmidt puts it up, in for two. Doss with another steal. That gives him two on the game, and it makes it 82-53. Pass inside to Osmus, now to Ammerman. Ammerman thought about three, but he passed it off to Seth Olson instead. Olson wanted to go inside to Osmus. He will go inside to Osmus. Everett Osmus' shot is up, no good. Raiden Rude, another rebound here. He'll pass it off to Landon Mold. Mold on the far side of the court, takes it up, now into the front court. He finds a lane, and oh, he lost his dribble. That's a rare mistake there from Landon Mold, but Rude, being a good teammate, gets it back. He gives it off now to Dakota Schmidt, now to O'Flanagan, to Mold again. Mold drives inside, strong shot, up and no good. Rebounded by Braden Rude. His shot is up and no good. Rebounded, excuse me, by Peyton Ammerman. And that shot, or excuse me, the steal there from Anthony Doss. Shot is up and good by Landon Mold. Doss with his third steal, and Mold with even more points. Mold with his 29th of the game. Seth Olson for the Jaguars has it. Gives it off to Trey Visser, now to Ammerman, back to Trey Visser. Visser trying to work inside, the reverse layup, no good. Everett Osmus will get the rebound, and his shot is up and no good as well. 84-53 is the score, a 31-point lead now for the Tigers with only 4:40 to go, and that foul going to be called on Braden Rude, his second, and the team's fifth. Both teams now have five as Everett Osmus is at the line to shoot two. First one is up and no good. It rattles out. Jamison Wood will check in for Dakota Schmidt. That's the only substitution we'll get. Everett Osmus sets back up to shoot his second. Again, he missed his first. This one has some air on it. It's no good. Rebounded by Braden Rude. He gives it off to Mold. Mold nearly loses his footing, but he keeps himself upright, and now he gives it inside to Rude. Rude will take the shot right from where he's standing. It's no good. Everett Osmus had the rebound for a second. I'm not sure now what the call is. Rude not happy with the call. They're going to get old Flanagan with a foul? Interesting. I didn't see it, but either way, a foul will be on Rush City. And now Seth Olson for the Jaguars will have a shot. His shot is up, no good. Racing after the rebound, not going to get it. It's Anthony Doss. He will get it for the Tigers. Picked up his feet, but gets away with a travel. He gives it off to Mold. Mold wanted to go back to Doss. Instead of go to Wood, now to Rude, now to O'Flanagan. O'Flanagan will give it back to Landon Mold. Mold has it, trying to drive inside, and his is swatted away from behind by Olson, but I think we're going to get a foul before that even happened. You do get the 16th foul on the Jaguars and the 4th foul on Trey Visser. So he'll have to be careful, but with 3:43 left, I'm sure they'll just keep him in and let him play out the rest of the game. Mold misses his first. Get a substitution of 4. Looks like Masterson, Lefebvre, Degerstrom, and Steele for Visser, Clare, Osmus, and Olson. Emmerman will stay in. Mold. His second one is no good, and Emmerman will get the rebound. He gives it up to Lefebvre. Lefebvre step back to... Oh, they're going to get him for a trial. That's interesting because they haven't been calling that too consistently tonight, as there have been a lot of guys out there, both teams, who have gotten away with some travels, and they're going to call that one. I respectfully disagree with that one, as now Landon Mold takes it up the court on the far side. Gives it off to O'Flanagan. O'Flanagan wanted the 3, instead gives it off to Rude. Rude, guarded by Masterson, gives it off to Doss. Doss spins around. He's inside, trying to get through some contact. He gets it through. Anthony Doss makes it 86-53. Lefebvre passes it near side to Degerstrom. Now in the corner to Steele. Back to Degerstrom. Degerstrom wanted to go to Steele, but instead goes inside to Masterson, and Rude with the block, but they're going to get him for a foul instead. Rude not happy with the call. I don't know if I agree so much with that one either. Either way, it is their 7th team foul, and Jordan Masterson is at the line to shoot 2. I thought he kind of got more ball than anything, but they're on the court, and I will respect what the referees say. Jordan Masterson at the line to shoot 2. His first one's up and good, making it 54-86. Checking into the game is number 34, and that is Landon Utecht. That shot is up and good from Masterson, so he makes both to make it 55-86. And Doss gives it to Mold. Now to Utecht. Now to O'Flanagan. All the way back to Doss. Doss trying to work inside. Bodies him up, and he puts it up and in for 2. Anthony Doss continues to add to his numbers tonight. 88-55 is the score. Lefebvre back to Steele, now back to Lefebvre, and he goes far side, to Degerstrom. He gives it back to Lefebvre on the far side, trying to go across the court, but it's going to be stolen away by O'Flanagan. An easy steal, and up and in for 2 for Anthony Doss, who was just waiting down there. It's 90-55, a huge lead for the Tigers. It's insurmountable at this point with 2:15 to go here in the second half. Pass to Peyton Emmerman, goes to Jordan Masterson. From the free throw line, he'll pull up. It's no good. A unkind roll as Landon Mold will get the rebound. He'll take it up the court on the far side, gives it inside to O'Flanagan. His shot is up, blocked by Silas Lefebvre. And Lefebvre will take it up the court. Bounce pass here to Degerstrom. And, I don't know who that was off of. Looks like they're going to say it's going to stay with the Jaguars, I think. So number 21 and 35 check in for the Jaguars. That's Isaac Westrom and Ty Westrom. Yes, Isaac and Ty Westrom check into the game. Ball is nearly stolen away. It is stolen away by Landon Mold. He'll get the steal and he'll give it off to Wood. Mold fakes it, drives inside. He is fouled. Over the line and shoot two. We got running time. That foul is going to go against Ty Westrom. And Landon Mold at the line to shoot two. His first one is up and good. Make it 91-55. Dakota Schmidt will check in for Anthony Doss. Landon Mold, no good on his second, so he'll make one of two there. And the rebound by Ty Westrom. Peyton Ammerman has it on the far side to Ty Westrom now in the far side corner. 15 seconds to go. Jordan Masterson nearly has it stolen away, but Peyton Ammerman somehow comes down with it. Reverse layup is no good, and rebounded by Jordan Masterson. It's going to stay with the Jaguars, and that'll probably wrap it up. We got 2 seconds, 1 second, and the inbound, and this will be it. And that does it here in Rush City. So the Tigers come away with a huge victory here at home over the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. 91-55 is the final here at Rush City High School. The Tigers get back into the win column and grab their third conference win. They'll move to 3-1 in the conference and 4-2 on the season with the win. We'll take a commercial break, and when we come back, I'll recap this game and let you know what's coming up for WCMP KBEK and also for these two teams next week as well. You're listening to boys basketball on 100.9 FM WCMP.
Since 1967, Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley, has been where to go for all your building projects. Let Gerald Schmidt help you with designing, remodeling, or any new construction. Schmidt Construction specializes in residential home building, agricultural, industrial, and commercial buildings. With expert advice on all of your building projects and ideas, when you hire a contractor to take care of your building needs, you can't do better than Schmidt Construction, general contractor in Hinckley. 320-384-7901.
Most Americans do not have a proper will or estate plan in place. Many of you listening have been putting off that important task for a long time. Stop waiting and contact Spear & Swanson today. Spear & Swanson can help you put together a tight legal estate plan to make sure the assets you've been working so hard to obtain get passed on to your loved ones in the way that best fits you. Spear & Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-629-7586. That's 320-629-7586.
Are you interested in a technical degree that can quickly help you land your dream career? Or maybe you've always dreamed of going to a four-year college, but you'd like to start close to home. Either way, Pine Technical and Community College has you covered. PTCC offers more than 50 degrees in hot fields like healthcare information technology, advanced manufacturing, and business. PTCC is now accepting applications. Financial aid may be available online at pine.edu. Starting out or starting over, find your future at Pine Technical and Community College.
It's time to start pushing snow. Sorry, just the messenger. Thankfully, Minnesota Equipment in Isanti has affordable machines to do the heavy lifting. Any size property. Toro and Aaron's walk behind snow blowers. Oh, you got land, huh? How about John Deere lawn and garden tractors? Or a compact utility tractor? Minnesota Equipment has them in stock. Snow removal doesn't have to be backbreaking. Not if you get into Minnesota Equipment, Highway 65 in Isanti. Or visit minnesotaequipment.com.
Hey, I'm Chad Greenway. When I was playing, I loved chasing down running backs. But you shouldn't have to chase your bank around when you're buying a home. Franzen Bank and Trust Mortgage Consultants will be with you stride for stride. like a linebacker on a running back, from pre-approval to closing and beyond. Let Franzen Bank guide you through the mortgage process. Learn more at franzenbank.com/getThere. Franzen Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
A&W Restaurant Pine City is still making fresh root beer, that signature item since 1919. It's still made fresh and on-site with real cane sugar and a blend of secret ingredients. It doesn't get any better than this. Their world-renowned A&W root beer is a classic treat, and they can top it off with creamy vanilla soft serve to be known as the famous A&W root beer float. Now that's smooth, tasty, and refreshing. An American iconic A&W root beer float. It never tasted so good. A&W Restaurant Pine City. Come grab your root beer float today.
Choose the right divorce attorney. Spear and Swanson will make sure the judge knows your side of the story. Let them help you with your divorce, custody, child support, harassment, or orders for protection. They also handle DWIs and other legal matters. The right divorce attorney does make a difference. That's why you need to choose Spear and Swanson, attorneys at law in Pine City. Call 320-620-7586.
The mushroom melt is back at A&W. How does this sound? Sautéed seasoned mushrooms and onions with melted Swiss cheese on your choice of a juicy burger or grilled chicken. Then add golden French fries and a medium soft drink. It's the mushroom melt and fries combo at A&W. Now, top it off with a classic A&W root beer float featuring vanilla soft serve and made fresh root beer, all in a frosty mug. Or how about the A&W root beer freeze? Signature combos and delicious treats always at your local A&W restaurant in Pine City.
No appointment? No problem. Injuries and feeling ill don't always happen during normal business hours. That's why Wellia Health has urgency services open 7 days a week. Urgency Services in Pine City offers the care you need when you need it. Hours are now 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week. No need to call or make an appointment. Just stop in. When tomorrow isn't soon enough and normal business hours just won't do, you can count on Wellia Health to be there for you. Live life well at Wellia Health.
Ethan Game Day Gilman back here on 100.9 FM at Rush City High School, where the Tigers take care of business against the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, 91-55. The Tigers with the victory. Looking at the stats for the visitors, the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, who come up short today. Leading the way was Silas Lefebvre with 24 points. He got 15 of those in the first half. 12 for Trey Visser. He was pretty much shut down in the second half. He was getting some shots from the perimeter and just inside the perimeter, and they really shut him down. He had 12 points total. 10 of those came in the first half. 4 for Griffin Steele, 4 for Levi Degerstrom as well. Those came in the second half. 8 for Jordan Masterson, and 3 for Seth Olson. Leading the way rebound-wise was Jordan Masterson. He played quick, and I mean, that young man has a shockingly fast feet for a bigger guy out there, and he was fun to watch. He's one of the guys that, you know, he's got that sneaky speed on him, and when he takes off, man, he takes off, and he is going, and it's good luck stopping him because, man, that's the thing, he is so strong and poised inside the paint that it doesn't matter where he's at, he's going to try and come down with that ball no matter what, and he does such a good job of doing that. So he, again, finishes the game with 8 points and 8 rebounds and no fouls. He did a pretty good job of keeping clean. 7 rebounds there for Silas Lefebvre, and then steal-wise, they had 6 total, 4 in the first half, 2 in the second half. They had 13 total team fouls, 7 in the first, 6 in the second. On the other side for the Rush City Tigers, leading the way was Landon Mold with 30 points. He had 16 in the first half, and he led them with 16 early on, and it looked like, oh, man, he's going to go off. Well, then Anthony Doss took over, and he led them with 21 in the first half, but Landon Mold will finish leading the team with 30. Anthony Doss will be right behind him with 29, and then 15 for Dakota Schmidt, 7 for William Volk, 4 for Owen Dick and Jamison Wood, and then 2 for Braden Rude. Leading the way rebound-wise was Rude with 13 rebounds, a double-double for Landon Mold. He had 30 points and 10 rebounds, along with 5 steals, no fouls for him. Rude had 2 points, 13 rebounds, 1 block, and 3 fouls. Team-wise, in the steal department, they had 7 in each half for a total of 14. And foul-wise, they had 8 in the first half as a team and 6 in the second half to give them a total of 14. A much cleaner second half for the Rush City Tigers, and it's easier to play a lot cleaner of a half when you're up so big on an opponent. Again, Jaguars, they had the Tigers going there because midway through that first half, the Jaguars took over the lead, and it looked like they were going to hold on to it, but then all of a sudden, some things started to fall the Tigers' way, and they started to overtake the lead. They took the lead from the Jaguars, and they never looked back, and they started to just simply run away with it. And Hinckley-Finlayson, they just couldn't get their shots to fall. The perimeter was just, they just couldn't find anything out there. And give credit to this Rush City defense because they stepped up and absolutely suffocated the Jaguars on offense and did a great job of getting rebounds on the defensive board. Coming up for these two teams after this, we'll take a look at the Rush City Tigers schedule. Again, they get the win here tonight to improve to 4-2 on the season, 3-1 in conference play. And coming up for them next, as it is January 6th, they will play next Tuesday on January 10th up at Moose Lake High School against the Moose Lake Willow River Rebels. And then they'll have about a week off because they won't play again until the Tuesday after that on January 17th in Bram. And then they'll play that Friday, January 20th at home against Mille Lacs. So, excuse me, a little bit of a road stretch there for them before they come back home to face another conference opponent, the Mille Lacs Raiders. We look over to the Hinckley-Finlayson side of things. Again, they came into this game at 3-4. They'll drop to 3-5 on the season. And coming up for them after tonight, they will play next Tuesday as well. They'll play in Malacca against the Wolves. Then they'll also play next Thursday and Friday at home. Next Thursday, they'll play at home against Mora. Next Friday, they'll play at home against East Central. So a pretty tough stretch coming up for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars there next week. They go out to face Malacca, who's always a tough team. Then they come home to host Mora and East Central. East Central is at the top of the conference, sitting alone now at the top of the conference at 2-0 as the Jaguars drop their first conference game here tonight. So they'll get to take on a conference opponent next week and then two Granite Ridge conference opponents in Malacca and Mora. So that should be a good stretch there for Hinckley-Finlayson to kind of iron some things out as well as kind of see what they've got in their team to kind of really figure out what they can do to get better as the season goes along, because that is one thing that you always want to do is just continue to get better as the season goes along. And Hinckley-Finlayson, I still think, is going to be one of the top teams that we're talking about between the four at the end of the season, trying to capture that Great River Conference crown. Coming up for us tomorrow, we will have more basketball on the airwaves. It'll be Rush City, the girls team for Rush City. They will host Mora. That should be a fun one between those two teams. And that'll be over on 95.5 FM KBEK. That'll be at 7:30. That one will start. So again, make sure you're subscribe to our YouTube to stay up to date as to when we are going live with a local game, because if you're subscribed, you will be notified when we go live with a local game. And then also don't forget to like it as well. So again, we will be back here tomorrow night for the girls basketball game between Rush City and Mora. But the final here again in this one, the Tigers defeat the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars 91-55. I want to thank all of you who tuned in here tonight, whether you were watching it on our YouTube via our website, or maybe you were listening on the airwaves on 100.9 FM. Thanks so much for tuning in here tonight. And I want to thank all of the fine sponsors who sponsored this broadcast. If we don't have them sponsoring, well, we wouldn't be able to come out here and call any of these games. So thank you so much to all of the fine sponsors. Again, the final is 91-55 in favor of the Tigers on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics. They will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget. The final, once again, the Tigers 91, the Jaguars 55. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night on 95.5 FM KBEK for the girls basketball game against Mora. I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, be kind to everyone, because you never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could really make their day. The final, once again, Tigers 91, Jaguars 55. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night and a fantastic weekend.